Thank you all for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, LK the Guy, the Deity, the Mogul. I am here with C Jizzle, live from Liberty Sizzle.
I have returned.
He has returned, a.k.a. Puff Go Poppy. What are we puffing on today?
Well, we just puffed on a big old dab of the tres leche from Beazle by way of curio flour. Very Beazle just doing the Lord's work lately. Just fantastic rosin. Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. It's a fantastic dab.
Fantastic dab. You're good. All right, so let's start how we always start, with a little bit of hoops. News this week. Doc Rivers is complaining about his own team, which is funny because he just got there like 15 games ago. CJ, how do you feel about Doc Rivers' comments that he had last night?
You know how I feel about Doc Rivers in general, so you know how I feel about the comments. My man looked for everyone to throw under the bus until he literally threw the bus driver under the bus.
That part was funny.
This man blamed everyone, the staff, the preparation, just everything, the professionalism. Just I don't understand why Doc Rivers is still living off that Celtics clout, man. I don't get it. He was a great coach. Just let him be a great analyst, commentator, do something, but they just keep giving that man teams. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's like you said, the championship ring can buy you a lot of good faith in the league, especially because you show that you've actually done it before. And you don't really have to produce too much after that because he stayed with a job. Like, he's had team after team, job after job. He just left Philly. Before that, he left the Clippers. Like, he stayed with a job. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those coaches that could stay with a job, like a Mike Budenholzer or Mike D'Antoni, Vinny Del Negro if he decides to come back. Like, a lot of coaches that stay with a job because they have that, you know what I'm saying, name recognition and, clout with the league. Even Tibbs. We don't really like Tibbs that much.
Man, what else is there to talk about Doc Rivers, man? He's been doing this from team to team, like you said, for quite a while. So that's how I feel about the comments. And Doc Rivers, like, career since probably like the Clippers.
Yeah, especially because he used to be my coach with the Clippers. So I don't got no good words for Doc Rivers. And it's funny how the light like reflects off of his head.
Hey, bro, what else you got?
Is that it for NBA?
Let's talk about the most exciting basketball happening right now, which is women's basketball.
W. In the W, well, not the W, but NCAA women's.
I really want to talk about this, too. This has really been something that's on my mind as someone who has been a fan of women's basketball. I used to go to Mystics games as a kid, along with the Wizards games and stuff like that. I have a lot of love for women's hoops, and this is the first time I can ever remember in my entire lifetime that there's been this much excitement around women's basketball in terms of, like, I was on the plane coming back from Florida, and I could overhear random people talking about, we can't wait to see Caitlin Clark go up against LSU tonight. Then we got Paige Beckers going up against, like, I've just never heard the sport in such a great place where they have the young stars on the way up, that are household names that people know and care about. They're pulling in massive ratings for these games. I don't know if you saw the ratings.
Yeah, they got more ratings than the finals, NBA finals.
And like I saw on X or Twitter, formerly Twitter, I knew the women's game was here because they are roasting up the female players just like they roast up the men. When Haley Van Lith was getting torched up by Caitlin Clark, she was simultaneously getting torched up by the internet. And that equality is when I knew the women's game was truly here. The women's game has arrived, like, in terms of the mainstream audience, because it's always been a great product, but It's great to see the women's basketball finally getting the respect it deserves and just the appreciation that it deserves. As we have these young stars and new faces of the game, and the WNBA is in a good place right now too. They got current stars in the league as well. So shout out to the ladies out here hooping.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like after the tournament, directly after the tournament, like 2 weeks after that, the draft, the WNBA draft happens. Like so, it's like one big blur. Angel Reese just declared for the draft. Congratulations to her.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Emmanuel Acho. What's his face? The internet collectively jumping his ass like there. I mean, he is getting curb stomped by the black community right now.
Bad take after bad.
Yeah,
take.
and that was my thing. I had to argue with somebody. People's like, why don't you let him some slack? It's just one bad take. Nah, bro, this ain't your first offense. He's had one too many of these Jason Whitlock-esque takes of like, even though this is a black woman talking about her treatment as a black woman, let's take race out of it. Like, nigga, that's the whole point. That's what we're talking about. She's talking about the wild sexist and racist shit that she has to endure. And then you're just like, let's take racism and sexism out of, like, nigga, that's the conversation. Like, just go work for the Daily Wire, bro. go work for Fox News or some shit and just get it over with. Because I don't like people who are just like disingenuous with it or tap dance around it. Just go full Whitlock. Go full Whitlock, my dog. Just go.
I feel sorry for Joy Taylor because she has to like sit there with 3 idiots like every day, and it's just a bad take after bad take after bad take. Like it probably weighs on your soul every day, just hearing bad opinion after bad opinion. That's
why these sports shows are dying, bro. The ratings are dying. Nobody watches this shit because all you go on and hearing the worst takes you've ever heard by niggas who don't seem like they even watch these fucking games anymore. They're just saying shit. I swear to God, like these first take and shit, these shows are becoming unwatchable, man. I'd rather watch Stephen A. Smith talk about which Pokemon he would choose and all the bullshit he'd be talking about on his own talk show, and people be sending him the dumbest fucking questions of all time, like Dragon Ball Z and shit. I'd rather see that content all day than watch what's on ESPN.
Rather watch Stephen A. mispronounce Charmander.
Vegeta was
Vegeta. Who's Vegeta?
That is all time.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd rather watch that than watch these take machines because it's all like cartoon characters, take machines, man. You know. But shouts to the NCAA tournament still going on this weekend.
Oh yeah, the men are playing too. Yeah, I forgot.
No. They have no stars.
It's just all big men for real. Like we got the Zach Edey versus Donovan Klingon. It looks like we're headed. Even though they're both good players, man. I like Klingon a little better than Edey in terms of if you need a big 7'2", you know, like shot eraser lob threat. But this is probably one of the reasons. Is probably because this is one of the weakest drafts we've ever seen in modern NBA.
I know nobody in this draft.
I think the only drafts I can think of that were weaker were the Anthony Bennett draft. That might be it. The one where he went number 1, or maybe, you know, the draft where Giannis went 15 or whatever. But we've had some bad ones, and this is one where you don't have anybody that makes you excited to have the number 1 pick. You're just like, all these players, you're some good players that can help you, but like there's no one you're like, we need the number 1 pick. Let's tank for. There's just no one that is coming out that has distinguished themselves to be that special. Speaking of special, like Wembanyama, Wemby is.
Thank you for segueing. Let me start. So I told you, sorry to cut you off, by the way, but I told you that I wanted to a 2K story, but I wanted to build an MVP, right, in today's modern NBA. And to be an MVP, you kind of got to be a stat sheet stuffer. Like you got to have at least 25 points, at least 9 to 10 boards, at least 8 assists. That's just what the fuck niggas do these days. Jokic shits those out. I think that's probably Russ's fault. But I was like, okay, I'm going to build one. I built one. Cool. So, okay, bet. Obviously got to deal with Luka and his numbers, his ridiculous fucking 35 a game and 10, 35, 10, and 11, just ridiculous numbers. Then, all of a sudden, your boy Wemby. 20. This nigga averaged 20, 10, 7, 2 and 2.
Yeah, he's doing better than that.
It is rookie season.
Have you seen what he's been doing the back half of the season? He put up a 40, 20, and 7 block game.
What do you do with that? What do you do with
40,
that?
27?
He's a mutant.
What?
He's a mutant.
My man he's doing this thing on a nightly basis now, and he's starting to lock in, and you're starting to see what he could be, which is you're talking 2010. Nah, nigga. Let's talk 25, 10, and like I've seen him have 9 blocks the other night. 9 blocks? Like he might be first team all defense his rookie season.
He's going to be something.
He's going to be all NBA first team next year.
Yeah.
Like
he's going to be one of those.
It's going to be insane. It's freaky how good he is and the things that he can do. God built to create a player in real life. It's the first time we've seen this shit. This is unheard of.
Yeah, the MVP race, they're going to have to deal with him because he
for the
has
next
ridiculous numbers.
15 years? Like,
as a rookie. It's scary. Like, what if he actually decides to add a skill?
What skill does he need to add?
Just
all he has to do is just polish everything he does now and get stronger. What else does this man just shoot better? He already shoot
just do
handle better.
Fucking fadeaway 3-pointers. Like do something.
He's already doing that, dog.
Turn around fadeaway 3-pointers. Fuck, we gotta add something to his game. More handle, more something. He's ridiculous, man. Like Wemby, he's definitely one of those players. You'd be like, oh, what if Kobe was 7'5" type shit, like. And that's something that just happens.
Wemby is something off of like a fucking movie, like the Bow Wow movie or some shit, where some little kid asks for to be the greatest basketball player of all time and gets some like Shazam ass powers in terms of the Wemby.
Because if you made this player, niggas would be like, bro, like, wow, what the fuck is that? Like, that's crazy. But he exists. Like, it's wild. Like, it's scary.
And the Wizards wanted to tank the year after this man came out. Now they want to tank. You want to tank for Reed Shepherd and fucking Rob Dillingham, but you didn't want to tank for Wembanyama.
Who are these players? They all sound like they're from Kentucky.
Both of them were from Kentucky, actually.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Anything else in hoops?
No, that's about it, man. That's all I got.
Yeah. Lastly in hoops, Jalen Green done kicked up. He
got mouths to feed. Mouths to feed. Jalen Green he's going up there with untucked Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Lawsuit Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Some of the greatest runs we've seen, man.
Super villain LeBron.
Yeah, with the mask.
Yeah.
Mask, you know what I'm saying? We've had some eras.
Bruh, did you see this nigga, his little clip? It was on Twitter yesterday. He went up for a dunk and he kicked his legs out and he had enough time to go for a layup.
Yeah, that was insane, bro. The hang
I was
time.
like, bruh, nigga, just
stop gravity.
Let me ask you this. Who has not say dunking ability, who has some of the most impressive jumping ability between Jalen Green, Zion, and there was another name I had in the tuck. Or Ja.
Yeah, I was thinking Ja. Ja has so much bounce, but I don't know, it might be Zion too, because Zion has so much weight, but he still be getting up there, so it's kind of crazy.
It's like a semi-truck jumping
over. Yeah. It doesn't make sense with the physics. Maybe that's why he be hurt all the time, where it's just I feel like you're so big, you shouldn't be getting up that high, bro. How are you doing that? You're usually them niggas with 2-inch verticals who are built like you, but you're flying out the gym, bro. That's just crazy.
For me, it's Anthony Edwards because it's sudden. He's just up there. And he just up there. The nigga he could bang his head off the rim. He has banged his head off the rim.
He's got crazy bounce.
It's crazy. But Jalen, he has bunnies though.
This is. He was the number two overall pick. He had a lot of hype coming out. From G League Ignite. Green has a very, very high ceiling. So this is what we've kind of waited for him to be, where it's just this is what they drafted. And Houston finally have a nice little core that they have found with Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun. That's 2 maybe future all-stars right there.
And then get rid of Kevin Porter though.
He got rid of himself.
That just had to happen. He had to go anyway. He didn't fit, so he had to go anyway.
Yeah. So, and then on top of those two, you've got Amen Thompson, who's starting to come into his own. He's finally getting some minutes, getting a chance. Yeah. So I like them, even though their jump shots are completely fucked. They need to get those fixed. But outside of that, they're hoopers, man.
Yeah,
they're hoopers. Like I believe in them. Just fix the mechanics on those jumpers. Those kids are both dogs. I like them.
Run point. Like
he has Amen has a lot more point guard skills than Asar. Asar is more of a wing,
which is scary.
Amen is more of like the on-ball point guard between the two. Their games are a little different offensively, but they also have obviously a lot of similarities in terms of their games and their physical abilities. Obviously, being twins, but and then don't forget about Cam Whitmore too off the bench. Cam is shown a lot too that he can at least be a microwave scorer and can be a valuable player. So that's just 4 players that right there. That's a core going forward that you can build around. I think Houston is
I can
good.
see him. I can see him starting.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, he can start. Yeah,
once Dylan Brooks is gone or something like that,
But my only conundrum with that team is Tari Eason and Jabari Smith.
I like Jabari. His fit is a little bit more awkward to me, but like he can play anywhere. Like Jabari's a really, really good player. Like,
I love Jabari.
Yeah, it's like I like him too. Like his defensive versatility and ability, his ability to shoot. Like I think Jabari's gonna be really, really good too. So yeah, I didn't even forget. I didn't left him off the damn list, and he's another huge building block, right? So,
like you can fuck around and tank forever.
Yeah, they were ass for a long time. I was like, damn, they did stack up some assets.
Just like the Thunder, like y'all made some good picks, and you end up with a good team if you made the right moves.
Yeah, like Sam Presti has made only good picks. The only thing I'm worried about the Thunder is their lack of size when it comes to the playoffs. I don't like being that small. Yeah. But outside of that, Thunder just have a great team, and sometimes that small ball does hurt the other teams too because they have to adjust to how switchable the Thunder are. They're probably the most switchable team 1 through 4, 1 through 5, probably with Chet in the entire league.
Come to town. Ooh.
Yeah, like Chet can be bodied, and he can get bodied off the boards. And just having Chet and Jalen Williams is not enough. J. Will is not enough size.
That's one of the biggest mysteries in the NBA. Before we move on, is Zion's rebounding ability. Like you would think he would rebound better,
like 5 rebounds a game or 7 or something like that.
You would think he would rebound better with his jumping ability and all that, but it's just, I think it's a want thing. But yeah. All right, moving hoops. Let's talk about, well, everybody, if this is your first time on Channel Orange, what we do is we talk hoops, we start off with hoops, and then we veer off into television and comics.
Let's do them. We got a movie review too.
A movie review? Go ahead. Handle your business.
Yeah, I'm a big, well, people know that Godzilla is my jam. I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Naturally.
I own all the movies on a fucking, physical vinyl collector set type stuff. It was one of my first passionate projects, things that I love. But so I saw Godzilla cross X Kong: The New Empire. I'm not a huge fan of the MonsterVerse. I'm gonna keep it real. You made me watch that Legacy of Monsters show. I'm gonna keep it real. It's kind of boring.
You watched it?
I did, and I didn't like it that much.
Shit! He watched it.
It was a little boring. I'm gonna keep it real. It didn't have the payoff that I really needed.
But well, did the pathos add to the movie? Because it's supposed to connect to the movie.
Barely. And the movie wasn't good enough to even be doing all that.
Damn, y'all supposed to have the connectivity. That's the point of the show.
Nigga, this was a Fast and Furious movie with Kong and Godzilla.
I figured that much.
This had no coherent plot at all. I'm gonna even do this is spoiler free, but there's not much to spoil in this movie that
just
you haven't seen.
Fuck it, anybody want to watch this shit.
So this is basically a pretty good Kong movie. It's but it does have some pretty redeeming moments that are funny. But in terms of the plot, basically the humans are boring. All they do is literally exposition. They're WWE announcers, as someone says. They just tell you what the monsters are doing or information that you need. They're not real people. But outside of that, you get an arc for Kong. There is a point where Kong picks up the little mini Kong dude from the trailer and uses him as a weapon as he's being jumped.
I've seen that clip.
One of the best things I've ever seen. I nearly gave a standing ovation in the theater because the little Kong was trying to set him up to be jumped. So he was like trying to lure him in, and the other apes so he's like, oh yeah, little buddy, I've been waiting to find another of my kind for so long. And then he sets him up. He's like, oh, you set me up? Grabs little nigga and just starts beating the other niggas with the little nigga.
Is that his son?
No, it's just another ape from the Hollow Earth.
Okay, got it. They try to bill him as a son.
Yeah, well, by the end of the movie, it's like his adopted son, basically. He bonds with him, and there's a whole arc where, you know, the kid... It's really dumb. I don't like the original villains. The Scar King was just like a fraud-ass, lost long monkey who was just like enslaving this other random kaiju who could just like blow frost breath at people. Yeah, the Shimo, and it's just... It was really dumb. And they got bodied fairly easily by Kong and Godzilla, too, so it was just like this...
the
didn't feel
rust,
like
man.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a threat, which brings me to my main complaint of the movie. Godzilla is just a background character in this movie. I'm gonna tell you exactly what Godzilla does. He naps and he runs fades. That's all he does. He just like, oh, Godzilla is worried for something is coming, so he needs to charge up. And he's just fighting kaijus and eating up nuclear power plants for some reason. And that's what he does through like the first half of the movie. And it's just like randomly, Godzilla's fucking shit up. We don't know why. And
that's Godzilla, though.
Yeah, but it's just like he specifically...
That's his whole thing.
Well, his thing in the MonsterVerse is like he's just like a gang leader, and he's just like all the other motherfucking kaijus.
He is the king of the monsters.
Yeah. He says, all the kaijus stay off my turf. And the agreement he made with Kong at the end of the last movie was, look, we good as long as you stay in the Hollow Earth because the Earth is my territory.
Well,
if I catch you in the Earth on my turf, I will fuck you up, but you good.
Yeah, Godzilla won that fight. Yeah. When they used to run the fade, like he usually wins that fight.
He always wins. He's Godzilla, dog.
Yeah, he's Godzilla. Yeah.
He can shoot nuclear lasers. Kong is a monkey. He's a big monkey. He's smart. He got heart. I give him that. I give him that.
Shit.
He a real G.
He ain't no bitch. He ain't no bitch.
He a real G. I got respect for Kong, but he ain't the big G. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just saying. And the movie knew that. The movie settled that debate for all the people who's like, King Kong could be Godzilla. Go watch the movie. We see how that turned out. But I'm just saying. So basically, there is a point in the movie where Kong comes to the surface and it's very funny because then the humans are like, what? As soon as Godzilla finds out he's up here, he's going to fuck him up. We got to get Kong out of here. And then at the end of the movie, when Kong realizes he needs help, he goes to get Godzilla, but he knows the only way he can do that is go to the surface and piss him off. So he goes to the surface, and Godzilla immediately...
Is that the pyramid fight?
Yes, that's the pyramid fight. He goes up, and Godzilla's like, who the fuck is on my turf? And then it's just funny to me. Like, he comes in the jump, Kong pops out of the portal, and he just, like, roars, and Godzilla is in Gibraltar doing some other shit, and he's just like, who the fuck is on my earth, nigga? And then he goes to immediately fuck up Kong. And that's where you get the jump from the trailer where Kong's like, no, nigga, like...
It's not that.
Yeah, he's like, no, I need you to get in the portal and help me, nigga. And then we get Mothra for some reason revived, and we get my headphones are going out.
Okay.
Being in this movie for no reason, even though I love Mothra, but there was no purpose for Mothra to be in this movie. They just needed another kaiju to make sure Kong and Godzilla teamed up and didn't kill each other. Or Godzilla was going to kill Kong because they do fight again in the pyramids and Godzilla beats his ass again. Even though they give Kong this cool like power glove thing, you see it in the trailer.
Yeah, because he got frostbite on it or some shit.
Yeah, he got frostbite on his hand from fighting Shimu the first time.
Oh yeah.
And it's the stupidest thing ever how he gets the glove. They're in the Hollow Earth and dude's just like, oh man, Kong's fucked up. His arm he's got frostbite and he might be dying. Oh wait, I remember there was this prototype thing that we built for him a while back that is like conveniently nearby, and I'm just gonna go get it. Like, how are you gonna retrieve that right now? You're in the Hollow Earth, sir. How do you know? How do you know it's still that? What? They're just like, look, man, we need Kong to have this cool glove.
Fast and Furious.
And guess what the glove has? It had a serum to help with the frostbite already built into the glove. How did you know that? Oh, this medicine will help with the frostbite and give him a super power up. Like, what? But again, we don't watch these movies for the plot. There's a nice little fight at the end. But again, like, Godzilla gets a new form. We get the little Barbie Godzilla.
So what is the pink form about?
He kills Tiamat, a different Titan that is just like full of energy. And again, the whole movie, Godzilla's charging up. And then he kills Tiamat, absorbs that Titan's power. And that Titan is like pink. So then he just is pink and stronger, I guess. It serves no purpose in the plot. He just shoots pink fire now and they could sell new toys. of Godzilla, a pink hue.
The pink silver Godzilla.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but it's just like it served no purpose. And then Godzilla easily helps and then just goes to sleep at the end of the movie. Runs, fades, takes naps.
I do gotta watch Godzilla -1 though.
That's an actually good Godzilla movie. You should actually watch, and it is amazing. And that's why I can forgive these dumb MonsterVerse movies that don't treat Godzilla with a lot of care. Because like this is like the silly version of Godzilla, like these remind me of like the old school movies where Godzilla's like a silly protector. He literally does like a vertical like suplex on Kong in this movie. So like these movies are stupid. They're not meant to be serious. These motherfuckers are doing wrestling moves on each other and shit. Like it's not supposed to be serious. But Godzilla -1 is a 10 out of 10. That's one of the best movies I've seen. That was probably the best movie I saw last year.
Okay.
Not just from being a Godzilla fan, just period. It's a great movie.
So how many flames out of 100 would you give Godzilla X Kong? V Kong? X Kong.
60.
60 flames out of 100.
It's a 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah. Fair. I had some entertaining moments, but I can't, in good conscience, call it a good movie. Like, I just can't.
All right. Well, moving on. Let's talk about some good television. Shogun.
Yeah, shit's cooking.
So, firstly, still fire. I hate when people claim a show is slow. I hate that shit. Why do you want explosions every fucking episode? Listen, when a show is good, you have to let it build out the story, build out the plot, especially a show like this. Just like Game of Thrones, there's a lot of posturing and maneuvering that you have to watch and how it unfolds. So it's not just going to be, you know, a knife fight, a blade fight, explosions every episode. It's a lot of minutia in it that they have to go through. So everybody relax, calling shows slow. Your attention span is just horrible.
Yeah, go watch CW. Go watch Real Housewives of something. Go watch some reality TV. You know, don't be disrespecting great well-crafted TV shows because it's quote unquote slow. Like you said, that's the mark of some of the best shows because there are plots and you actually give a shit about the dialogue and the characters and the, you know, aspects of the show. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know who is hating on Shogun. Mm-hmm. But
let's talk about the episode.
Oh yeah, I just watched this one. Like I said, I was out of town, so I was a little behind. So I just watched that John a couple hours ago. It's great. Like I said, I just love the like you said, the political maneuvering, which is most of the show. Like that's the best part. The alliances, the betrayals. When his brother showed up, I immediately was like, I don't trust this nigga, dog. I don't trust him. There's something about him. Yeah. He giving me some vibes that I feel like he gonna backstab you. That's exactly what the fuck happened.
Oh, it's such a beautiful ending to the episode, man.
Yeah, well, that son is what a fuck boy. What a fucking
beautiful.
What a fucking chump.
Beautiful.
I'm glad, but his pops knew though. His pops didn't even. Did you realize he didn't leave him shit in that will he was talking about? He was like, leave it to my grandkids because that nigga.
I didn't notice that.
That nigga is tripping. I can't trust this nigga.
Fucked up. He was right though. He was right. Yeah. Man, look, man, the way it unfolded, the way.
Did my man slip on a banana peel? What happened?
He slipped on a robe or some shit. Yeah. I was
just
like,
bro,
when you had the drop on him, you should have just did it.
Yeah, you hesitated, try to savor the moment.
Don't hesitate. You should have just did it. And then the ending, he was like, there's no beauty. Where's the beauty in this?
Yeah, what does that nigga do? Yeah, he's just like, well, I ain't even do shit. I'm just like, well.
Ain't no beauty in this.
Went outside, but you know he was fucking up before. That's just a little karma for what he did before.
But I feel like that would have went that way anyway because how could, like they said, he surrendered. So when you surrender, all of us are going to die. So I don't feel like everybody's going to be okay with dying tomorrow morning. So I feel like there's going to be some type of maneuver. We're going to figure something out to try to get out of the situation. Because
I feel like Toranaga always has a plan or a backup. But like,
Yeah.
did he set it up? Did he set up the hit? But you know what I'm saying? Like, was that something, or is that something that the son did?
He wouldn't have his son. I think that his son was just working
because
by
I feel like he
himself.
wouldn't have trusted his son to do something so important.
He's way smarter than that because he knows his son is too eager to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's
but
what
I know
said.
he was setting up he was talking to the brothel lady earlier, the head mistress or whatever.
Yeah, she might flip.
And she was trying to cut a deal and be like, you look out for us. And then, so I say, I love it. It's just all this maneuvering going on. There's a lot of people that you're iffy on. You're just like, I don't know which side this person's going to play. I don't know which side they're going to go on. Mm-hmm. So we still have some iffy characters in terms of alliances. And it's just good TV, dog. It's family drama. It's romantic drama and tension. My man Bontaro down bad. Can I kill him? Can I just kill him? Can I just kill this man?
I wonder if Man told him what he heard from the shawty at the tea house when she was like, when
she was like, he was interested in somebody else.
I wonder if that's why he did that.
Yeah, plus he seems like he was picking up on it the whole time though, just the vibes of just like, because like he was saying, he's like, she's real warm to him, but she's always just been icy to me. And even when he was like, I'm gonna kill her, it's like, you gotta kill your wife too. And she was like, well, you could just kill me. And he's just like, fuck, man, stop. Like, I want you to care.
Is Buntaro Gambit?
He's getting gambited right now. Like, Gambit's getting, they're going outside right now.
Ouch. We'll get to that later. All right. Yeah, man. Shogun. Still a 10 out of 10. No complaints.
Yeah, it's just cooking. It's just cooking every week, man.
Every week. We only got like 2 episodes left, I think. Then the show is over. Then we got to go back to bad TV like Real Housewives or whatever the fuck. I don't know. All right. Moving on. Just a little Marvel news. They just announced the casting of Silver Surfer.
The incels will be mad about this one.
The internet sucked itself into a black hole. So, of course, we know it's a woman.
The MCU and the wokeness.
The woman playing Silver Surfer. This is not my Silver Surfer.
Woke Disney.
He said woke Disney. Oh, man. Listen, man. So, I don't want to get her name wrong. Do you know her name?
I don't. I don't remember.
I think it's Julie Garner.
Yeah, isn't it? Julie Garner?
Yeah, Julie Garner has been announced as Silver Surfer in the MCU. But she's playing a variant of Silver Surfer.
Yeah, it's not the Novar Silver Surfer.
Ben Simmons or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't read that many Fantastic Four comics. I'm going to keep it real.
But it is a female version of Silver Surfer.
We'll see. Again, I'm not super excited for anything Marvel's doing. We'll see what they do with Deadpool and stuff like that. But
CJ's practically jumping out of his chair with excitement at this moment.
Look, man, if they make some good movies, then I'll be back more invested. But I've seen too many lackluster projects for me to be as invested. Like, again, they got one show I'm invested in right now, and I'm be grateful for that. And we'll see where that goes. But Marvel ain't really been cooking lately, so we'll see. But I'm open to it. Hopefully the Fantastic Four movie is good. I'm not freaking out because they already said that the movie is going to take place in an alternate universe to start. They're not going to be in our MCU, so that's cool. That might be the Silver Surfer of that universe, or we might have a more established team because Pedro Pascal's not a young man, so I don't think we're doing like a beginning, of their journey. This could be a more established Fantastic Four that's already done a lot of adventures, has their own rogues gallery and stuff like that. So, just wait and see. Give the movie a chance.
Yeah, just give the movie a chance. I like the diversity. I like that they're trying new stuff. Yeah, I can never get mad at anybody for trying new stuff, just outright. So we'll just have to see when it comes out. Moving on. Something that just ended, but is still fire. Invincible. Now, Season 2 just ended with an amazing episode. It was probably an hour episode.
Yeah, it felt longer than it usually is.
Yeah, it felt like an hour. Angstrom is gone. Mark is a killer. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to shut up because I've read all the comics, but yeah,
I've read all the comics too. Sort of.
This is a big turning point for the series where it really kicks up a notch. Like I was saying, this is...
Let me know when you're ready to spoil it.
Well, I was going to start not being spoilery.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Well, I'll try to not be immediately spoilery, but
not immediately.
Angstrom Levy is Mark's arch nemesis, so I guess that's spoilery enough that the man will return in some form later in the story, even though it looks like he absolutely should not, because spoiler alert, Mark went cray-cray on that man, as he should have.
Should have.
Yeah.
Warranted.
Although not smart, because he did strand himself in another universe. So.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, bro, how you going to get back?
Yeah, how are you going to get home? That's the part that was more dumb. You might have wanted to go home and do that in your home universe. And then I would have been okay with that solution. But, you know, like I said, one of the most interesting things about Invincible to me is about Mark's journey with his morality. You know, what type of hero he wants to be. And we get a lot of that in this episode. It's like the beginning of that arc where he's just like, why am I going to college? Like, what is the point of that?
He finally gave in, yeah.
Yeah, I need to be focused on how to control my powers and be the best hero so I'm not killing people and doing collateral damage. Like, why am I in astrophysics class? Like, it doesn't make any it makes no sense. So, you know, he's starting to really figure things out and what type of hero he wants to be. So I can't wait till you see him throw on the blue and black suit, and we'll see a little bit hardcore version of Mark and him go through different things with his morality. But what we're really going to get is some great stuff with the Viltrumites, and there's going to be a big battle. I assume that'll be next season with a certain Viltrumite that is awesome, and then again there will be another confrontation with Angstrom maybe next season or the season after that. This peak Invincible to me, but yeah, I think the show is hitting all the notes. I think the emotional beats are fantastic. They're really just nailing like the voice actors, especially Mark and his mom, like Sandra Oh and Stephen Yeun are just absolutely just killing it. Really, really, really doing some great work. Especially Debbie. Like Debbie's character, much better characterization of Debbie in the show than in the comics. I like that they're giving her more, probably because they're paying so much for Sandra Oh to be in the show, so you might as well.
That's where the budget goes.
You might as well give her something to do and expand upon Debbie's arcs, which I think they're doing great. Yeah, even like I said, the side characters like Rex and Adam Eve and even Donald. They gave Donald like a whole arc. That's way more than that's way more, because in the comics he's just a robot and they never elaborate on it. He's just a cyborg dude. But in this, like, you know, his whole arc, he's died over and over again is because he's so heroic and he keeps losing more of himself and doesn't want to have the trauma slow him down. Like, that's excellent. That's just an excellent addition to the story. Like you said, they don't need to change the story, but welcome additions like that are great, because I don't think it was a perfect comic. So now they can turn a near perfect comic into possibly a perfect show. So, yeah, so I love it. Love it. Great episode. Like I said, my only beef with Invincible is its production schedule. That's the only beef with losing so much momentum. We only get 4 episodes and have to wait months, then get another 4 episodes and have to wait years possibly. Yeah. That's too long. They got to tighten up the production schedule just to at least give us a season per year without the long pauses in between, which I think they have done. They said they started doing some seasons back to back. So I hope they just are just less waiting in between 4 episode blocks, or at least give us 8 episodes and then we wait, or something like that. I don't like splitting an 8 episode season into 4 episode blocks. That's very annoying. It's like you're trying to really drag it out.
Yeah, I have no idea when Invincible is coming back.
Yeah, there's a problem. Like I said, it needs to have like a groove and a schedule so people, it just doesn't have its momentum broken up, because I feel like more people would be watching if it kept its momentum, but people fall off of it because it has these long breaks and people forget when it's coming back.
And that's the advantage of the binge model.
Yeah, I don't even mind it not being binge, but you gotta at least like have a consistency with the schedule, you know, instead of just being like, here's 4 episodes, you waited, and see you in 3, 4, 5. You know, it's just random. It just seems.
But the binge model, when it comes out, boom, drop it all.
Well, I think maybe you're right because the show is so short. Like the show is so short, it might.
Because when it comes out, we still not getting dragged around for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we've been dragged around for 4 weeks, and then they took another fucking break, and then another 4 weeks. I'm like, bro, this is 2 breaks, and we still don't know when the fuck you coming back.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They did one too many. They got a little greedy with the breaks. That's what I was like. And some of the episodes are short. Some of the episodes are like 30 minutes, and so it's like, like I don't know, man. You got to give us a little bit more. Other shows seem to figure out how to animate a little faster than this, like. Shows that look better and Invincible.
Shows that look better.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a hater, but
shows that look better.
Invincible can look great at times.
There has to be a balance somewhere.
Yeah, but you guys are taking a long time, and I know part of that is like you said, the voice cast being so star-studded.
For sure,
you have to work within people's schedules, and they have other projects.
Fucking
and stuff.
extras be goddamn voice actors that we know. The extras just there to play a zombie. Like, shit's crazy.
Yeah, so like I get it, but also like, yeah, like just don't hurt the own, don't kill your own momentum. That's all.
All right, you ready for spoilers?
Yeah, what do you want to spoil? Like what?
Yeah, everybody, this is your spoiler warning. In about 5 seconds, we're going to really get to the nitty gritty of Invincible. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you've been warned. So, where do we go from here in the story of Invincible?
Well, I kind of mentioned it earlier, so you told me to spoil shit. But like I said, we're going to get into very soon. We're going to get into the Viltrumites pulling up and finally making good on like, hey, did you get the planet ready to be conquered? Because if you didn't,
so we're definitely going to get a time skip then.
No, it's no time. Not a real time skip. It's going to be. Mark's going to be doing other superhero stuff. Like I said, we have lesser villains that we always focus on. We have the Sequids. We have other things. We have the Flaxens who always come back, the little other dimensionals.
Yeah.
So we have there's going to be other threats, but then like we're going to have Conquest pull up from.
Conquest is definitely pulling up.
Yeah. And that's going to be directly after the Invincible War. So we're going to get the Invincible War first. So that means Angstrom's going to come back at some point.
So that's next season, Invincible.
Or the season after that. Like I said, it's been a while since I read the comic. I don't remember exactly what happens next after this, but I know we're moving quickly towards. Because Anissa mentioned it in the last episode too. It's like, somebody's about to pull up, and it's not me. And if he pulls up, and you still on this bullshit, it's going to be a real problem. But first, he's going to have to deal with the return of Angstrom in the Invincible War, which is my favorite part of the comic. Where he brings all those evil Invincibles that we saw, like the horrible ones, he gathers them and sends them all to Earth at the same time.
So I'm thinking that's going to happen the next season we get. That has to happen.
Maybe season finale next season or something like that.
If they break the fucking season up and
because they are moving pretty fast. They're moving through the comic book at a decent pace. I don't think they're moving too slow. I think they're moving at a perfect pace. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even did the whole, Alan talking to
Nolan, because
this early.
Yeah, that's what I was like. We're getting the Nolan's redemption. We got the I miss my wife part this early.
Yeah, his redemption started already. So Nolan's gonna come back.
Yeah, Nolan and Alan is their stuff is really funny in the comics. So like their whole bromance and how they become cool, how they just become friends in prison and end up working for the the Alliance or whatever. But yeah, it's gonna get good. I just can't wait till we get to that stuff. But Invincible, it's a lot of cool arcs. We're gonna see Oliver grow up and come of age and become.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Oliver.
Kid Omni-Man.
Yeah, Kid Omni-Man. Yeah, I'm excited to see
Oliver is a much different character than Mark. He's not gonna be the sweet baby the whole time. Oliver is gonna cause some problems.
He's fucking crazy.
Well,
that's what he is.
A little bit. I mean, he's an alien, and he struggles being an alien and also being the son of Omni-Man because he knows his father as a hero on the other world. The world that he grew up, where his mother so he on Earth, like even Mark is like, you should not take that name. People do not think of Omni-Man fondly, so calling yourself Kid Omni-Man is kind of wild. People will hate you. And yeah, so he's, but he doesn't really understand that Oliver is. He's a cool character though. Like I said, he's different because of his alien physiology. He learns stuff really fast. He grows fast, so he ages faster. So he'll be like a teenager soon. Like he'll grow up. Like,
I wouldn't
fast.
be surprised. Like next time we see Invincible, that nigga's like,
yeah, he's
a teenager.
Yeah, like at a point, and then his growth slows down at a certain point. So once he becomes an adult, he kind of like levels out.
I tried to look up his age rate, and I'm trying to time it out.
Yeah, because I know it's not a big time skip, but he does grow up in age. I mean, over the course of the comic, there is like a large time skip towards the end, but
right.
And over the course of time, the comic runs for a long time, and things like that. But Oliver ends up being an adult by the end of the comic, but like he grows up super super fast. Like we'll get his Kid Omni-Man phase soon as he just grows, and then Mark has a sidekick, and Mark has to deal with that. Like, how do I deal with training a sidekick and controlling a sidekick who is that strong? A kid that has Superman powers who doesn't really know a lot about Earth and its customs. And then later there's an arc where Oliver murders the Mauler twins, like the beloved Mauler twins that we've been following this whole show. The Run the Jewels plays every time they pull up and event stuff. Like, well, Oliver kills them and he perma kills them later in the story. And, Mark has to deal with that where he's like, damn, bro, I didn't teach you any restraint, bro. Like, this is like one of my classic villains that like I fight all the time and let him go and fight, and it's like we put him in jail, they break out. It's like it's almost like they cool, dog. Like how you're not supposed to kill them all the twins, dog.
They're actually useful if you want to use them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, for your technological advances.
And we still have to meet Thrag and really do the real Viltrumite stuff, like the Viltrumite War.
The Viltrumite War. I can't wait to see the robot war.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the weird robot. We got a little bit of the like robot this episode.
That takes a long time.
Yeah, the robot stuff's crazy. The robot stuff's insane.
That's further around. Oh my god, robot.
Robot. The heel turn that robot takes in the story, and after being trapped in, I think he just got fucked up, trapped in that dimension, and his girlfriend got.
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Girlfriend impregnated another woman in her male demon monster form, and now you got to deal with that. And he was trying to stop a war. They got trapped in another dimension, and there's all this crazy shit happened to Robot and Monster Girl, and it fucked Robot up. And he came back and lied to Cecil about how long they were there.
Yeah, he definitely lied.
Because it's like, we were there for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We say
you were there for hundreds of years.
Hundreds and hundreds, and it fucked him up. And I think that's what happened to Robot. Because I fucked a Robot earlier in the story, but he was on some bullshit later.
Then he just starts going by Rex.
Yeah, after Rex dies in the Invincible War, Rex does kill one of the Marks, though.
They did something with that in today's episode, didn't they?
Yeah, they foreshadowed it with the future Guardians, where she calls him Rex in that jump, just because he takes up the name Rex after Rex heroically dies in the Invincible. Man, charged his own fucking spinal cord and exploded. That was metal as fuck.
Oh, and duplicates back, like we kind of foreshadowed.
Smart. That's what I would do if I had duplicate powers too. I'd always keep a spare in the cut, just in case.
Just to play a generator, like just go live in California somewhere.
Yeah, just be off the grid, chilling.
Keep running away from me.
Just got my shadow clones out here dying.
Just keep going far. Go overseas or something. Live your life. Go to London. Yeah, man. Are you surprised that they didn't do the whole Eve and Mark thing this early, or
no? They'll probably do that next season. They'll drag it out in a little bit because he just broke up with Amber, so it's gonna be a little minute. Eve,
the way it happens in the comics, Jesus Christ, happens quick.
Eve is not playing on that bullshit, bro.
She was not playing with that nigga.
She was just like, look, man, what it is. We know we like each other, so are we gonna do this or not? So we'll probably get some version of that next season after Mark fresh off his like I just murdered a man trauma, so. Probably wasn't the best time to be like, and I think what happens in the comics is Mark is uncomfortable about how he got the information. You know what I'm saying? It's like not fair to her because that's really that's her personal feelings, but like, how do you explain that? Like, a future version of you came to me and told you that you were always in love with me. So
I kind of know.
I know, yeah, like I absolutely know for sure because that was you from the future. And I'm not supposed to know this, but like I know and I do like you, so he's just in a weird place because of how he got that information. And it wasn't on his radar, clearly. He was just on some other shit. And he's just like, what? What do you mean, Eve? Like, she's like, no, this is important. I was in love with you this whole time. I need you to know that. And please do something. Either like dump me or like do something. Tell me. You know what I'm saying? Just settle that. Resolve that shit for the younger me so I don't turn into this version of me. Thank you.
So in the comics, it was just like, you're single, I'm single, we date now.
Yeah, basically, it's just like we know we've always we know we like each other. The only reason we weren't together is because you were with Amber.
My friend, you were with my friend.
In the comics, the Eve is dating William too. William's not gay in the comics, so like Eve dates William.
That was in my blind spot.
Yeah, yeah. But Eve dates William, and then she just realizes like that's not a thing. She just like, I just was doing that to get close to Mark. So it's kind of like that. It's like I broke up with William. You just broke up with Amber. We know we liked each other the whole time. So what are we doing? We might as well like, let's stop bullshitting. It's like one of those. So yeah. So like I said, there are changes. They made some changes, but changes that are good. Because I think William, does he become gay later in the comics or realizes he's gay or something? Like, I don't remember. William is just not a big character in the comics like he is in the show, where it's just like Mark's best friend, you know.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do as much.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll see when Invincible comes back next year. Probably comes back when fucking the new Avengers movie comes out.
Right.
You know, whatever. All right. Before we leave, you know we have to talk about doom 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 Xmen97. Still a banger. Bo DeMayo.
What did he do?
He had an OnlyFans account.
Is that really what it like?
I
haven't heard that confirmed anywhere. That's just what people are speculating. Although I did go to his Twitter, and that jump was very zesty. I was expecting to see X-Men stuff, and I'm seeing this man in like a Speedo. You see an X-Man. Yeah, like I see this buff man in a Speedo. I was just looking for X-Men content, my G. I'm gonna unfollow now. But again, like that's no reason for that man to be fired from the show. So this man has zesty OnlyFans. I don't care him. If he's cooking with a show like this, you better let that man show his balls on OnlyFans. Look, man. Whoever wants to subscribe, look, man, that ain't my business.
Wants to subscribe.
That ain't my business. That ain't my problem. Just let him keep cooking X-Men, okay?
He'll do it for a sub.
Let him keep making this show because this show is great. And I'm still mad that they sacrificed the X-Men comics to make this, but I don't care. The show is good. I'm gonna take the dub.
Well, let's start in order of the episode. Let's talk about the Jubilee episode first. Mojo World, we're back in Mojo World. Really quick. It was cool. It was good. They had a nod to the old X-Men video games that we all love, that we all had on Sega Genesis, I think. Yeah, I had it on Sega Genesis.
The arcade cabinet, the X-Men arcade. It was just like X-Men arcade. Like Jubilee had like a super move, like in the X. Like it was. Yeah. Great. It was just great, man. I feel like that was. Jubilee doesn't need a whole episode, but we needed a love letter to Jubilee, and she needed her own story.
She get half episode.
Yeah, like, and that's cool. Jubilee got some justice, even in a half episode. I think they really gave her justice in a fun little Mojo story, a fun story that hints at another aspect of Jubilee in the comics, which is like she hasn't come anywhere close to fulfilling her potential. So you see, like, the future Jubilee was just doing a bunch of dope shit that she was like, I can do that? Wait, I can do that? Because, Emma did that in the comics to her once. It was just like, you haven't scratched the surface of what you can do. Like, your powers are amazing. And
I hope that going forward she does way doper stuff now.
Yeah, like, she just does more than just shoot fireworks at people.
Yeah.
So, but, so I thought that was cool. We got some Jubilee stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about how they're handling Sunspot right now, but I mean, He's just kind of the new
Trying to slow walk him.
So I guess he might end up joining the team fully later or something. But I don't know. Roberto's kind of been annoying a little bit to me. But outside of that, just great episode. Like I said, Mojo, classic Mojo shenanigans. Got Spiral again with a cameo. We got the Future Jubilee. Just a fun love letter to video games. Like I said, I love when it went to the arcade kind of visuals and styles. Joan kicking your ass over there. But like, I love the arcade visuals and things like that. But like I said, yeah, just a love letter to Jubilee, who is the quintessential 90s kid. That is what Jubilee was supposed to be in the show. And like the surrogate audience point of view. And like I said, the mall rat arcade video game plan. Like that's what this version of Jubilee is. So thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, that episode was cool with Jubilee. But the other half of the episode.
We get into life death.
Life death.
I knew we were getting life death when I seen Storm in a mohawk. You don't put Storm in a mohawk unless you're going to do this. And then you don't say that Forge is going to be in the season. Mm-hmm. So we got Forge. So we just got like a speed run version of life death. That's just what it was. And they just speed ran through the story, which is basically what it is. Storm has been a all-powerful goddess her entire life, and this is a story about her learning to live and be effective and to be strong without her powers. Mm-hmm. Like, this is who are you without, her identity was tied to her powers. So her without her powers is so foreign to her. She has to figure out what type of person she is. So this is one of the most important arcs for Storm. And this is like a little romance, but it's also an arc for Forge. Forge kind of being an Uncle Tom-ish of mutants. He's done some work for the man, for the oppressors. He's done some contract work, and he's making a bunch of shit. They hinted to some more stuff, like he was involved in making those collars. He was involved in making that gun.
Yep.
He's Forge has done some shady things for the government. We saw him in the original show with X Factor, and that was cool. They had the picture with X Factor on his wall. He also has a sexy photo of himself on his own wall, which is very weird.
Yeah, he does.
It's like, is that a shirtless photo of you? Of just kind of looking in the... okay, that's a weird thing to post on your own wall, my G. But and then a picture of him with the German scientist that Mystique replaced in the original show, who was the original maker of the collars. And then I think... that was Bastion that he was next to that was covered in the picture. So again, I think we might be getting some crazy Murder Sentinel future shit happening at the end of this season. But I'm pretty sure the covered person in that picture was Bastion, who is like a Super Sentinel from the future mixed with Nimrod and Master Mold. And so that would be Bastion, Forge, and the scientist who makes the collar. So that would be implying that Forge also had a hand in making the Sentinels, which would also be bad. Bad for mutants. So Forge is he's almost like the Oppenheimer of mutants, where he's built some of their worst nightmares because of his gift of being able to just be able to make anything. And for people to know that Forge is also on par with people like Tony Stark and Reed Richards, but not as smart as them, because he is not a super genius. It's actually his mutation making him able to figure out how to build things, but he is not know everything. So like Reed Richards is smart and can build shit, and like Tony Stark is a genius and can build stuff. Like Forge is not necessarily a genius, but his mutant power is he can figure out how to build anything. So that's kind of differentiates him from the other super geniuses in Marvel, but also still is an awesome power. He can figure out how to make anything, which is extremely useful. So, yeah, he tries to get Storm's powers back, and we're just going to get an arc where Storm fights a weird demon and goes through a journey of self-discovery. She'll get her powers back, but she'll learn how to be a leader without her powers. And there's a point in the X-Men comics where she takes leadership of the team from Scott. I think we might get a version of that by the end of the season. If Scott leaves the team, and we might get our new roster or something like that. But Storm is, awesome. She's always been one of my favorite characters. This is one of the most important arcs for her, because even going forward, even like in the Krakoa stories, there's going to be instances where Storm doesn't have access to her powers, and she has to be a boss. And like I said, one of my favorite moments is when she beats Tarn the Uncaring, whose power is to mentally be able to basically manipulate genetics with his mind. So he's like Mr. Sinister mixed with Jean Grey. He can just look at you and just turn you into an Akira-like blob, and just you are helpless to do anything about it. So he basically turned like Storm, like, can't use your powers. And Storm's famous weapon and tactic is I will stab a nigga. And she is one of the best knife fighters.
Yep.
And
that's her signature move.
Yeah, and that's how she beat an Omega level mutant on Mars. She stabbed that nigga, and he never saw it coming. He even's like, I didn't see this coming. I thought we were using superpowers. I'm bleeding out. I guess you won. And so this just leads to that. This is the arc that leads to Storm not only being all powerful with her Omega level abilities, but also if for some reason she doesn't have access to her godlike almighty power, Storm is still incredibly formidable and a great leader of the team. So that's what we're going to get through the life-death arc, as we'll get the second half of the story in 2 weeks, it looks like.
Yep.
And again, I think the direction of the show, I can start to see it. I think some of the other people are sniffing it out too. It looks like we're leaving Xmen97 to do X-Men 2000Z stuff with like Grant Morrison. I think we're going to end the season with E for Extinction with Cassandra Nova or Bastion or some version of that genociding Genosha.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I think that's how the season's going to end. And I think that's going to lead to whatever. I think we're going to have a new roster that looks closer to Grant Morrison with Emma Frost maybe joining the team, or, some people. There's going to be some shakeup of the roster, I believe, from this. And we're already starting to see it. Like the opening title's changing.
Yeah,
people are leaving and going.
It's changing all the time.
Yeah, so it's like they're adding and changing. So like I think by the end of it, we're going to have like a new team. Maybe Gambit and Rogue leave the team. Maybe, something, we just get some changeover. And by the end of it, we have something that looks more like Astonishing X-Men or New X-Men or something like that.
Poor Gambit.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Gambit this season.
Poor Gambit.
He's just going out sad right now. I hope he has an arc or something that redeems him, or maybe my man just got to go back to Nolan's, man.
Poor Gambit.
Said, how many sugars do you just giving out coffee? My man said, nah.
I give out orders.
Nah.
He said, you taking orders? They no, I give orders.
Yeah. He's
little ass nigga. The fuck you talking about? Who you talking to anyway?
Yeah, it's like I know exactly how many coffees your girl needs right now, dog.
Like they got that whole training session booked out for the whole day.
Yeah, wow.
What y'all gonna be doing in there, bro? He's beating the magnets out. She's beating the.
That's why he got the Westbrook sleeves on.
That's why. Hey yang.
You got the double arm sleeves on.
Oh, girl. I'm gonna beat the marvel out of you, girl.
Man, could put the electromagnetic condom on his whole body.
Oh, wow.
Got the electromagnetic Trojan.
Oh, man, that hurt, bro. Like, he booked out that whole joke for like 6 hours. What
I would have quit the team. I would have quit the team.
I would have quit that day. I'm out. Yeah. I'm out,
Him and
bruh.
Logan. I don't know what him and Logan just on that team just suffering, bro.
I quit jobs for less. I tell you what, I'm out.
Logan, I've been at Alpha Flight chilling with my man Puck. I've been up there.
I'm gone.
I've been in Alpha Flight so fast.
Finna treat me like that.
I'd be a goddamn Avenger so fast.
Nigga, I'm out, bruh. You don't understand how out I'm out. Like, nah, fuck it, I'm gone. Fuck y'all.
Guardians of the Galaxy, got any openings, man? Like, I'm going somewhere, bro. I ain't staying with the X-Men.
If I gotta compete for pussy, I quit. The fuck you talking about?
I'm not longingly touching pictures, watching my man
No.
Jean getting clapped in the next room. Logan just over here mad about it. I'm tired of you, Cyclops. I'm so tired of you, man.
If I gotta compete for it, you win. I'll tell you what. That's just my philosophy. Leave Gambit. Leave, goddammit. Leave Wolverine. Leave. Shit.
Or just maybe eventually we'll get Krakoa, and then Wolverine will get his weird threesome room, and he they can do their weird orgies and stuff. That is still the wildest canon thing I've still seen. I was just like, Jonathan Hickman, you a wild boy for that data page. That data page, you wild for that. The adjoining rooms, there's no justification for that. To show a floor plan of the Summers house in great detail and to show that the only rooms that are connected are Jean's room in the middle, Scott's room on one side, and Logan's room on the other side. And those are the only 3 rooms that have access to each other in the entire house is wild. That is a wild floor plan. That is a crazy implication. So it's like, wait, okay. Jean can have Logan or Scott enter her room whenever they want from opposite sides, so their rooms aren't connected because, you know, them niggas don't want to interact with it's not Jean related. But if it is Jean related, they can go clap the cheeks together.
That's insane.
And that is canon.
He said that is canon.
Check them House of X data pages.
Hey, that might be the title. And that is canon.
That's canon.
That's canon.
Check them data pages. Hickman's a wild boy for that.
Oh, man.
Rachel's room ain't connected to nothing. Cable's room ain't connected to nothing. Fucking Vulcan's room ain't connected to nothing. Jean's room got extra access. I'm just saying.
And that is canon. Oh, man.
And you also, for the first time on panel, see Wolverine and Jean like getting busy. Like on page where they're not like ashamed, or it's not like this is an affair or this is some big deal. It's just like Wolverine's just in a hot tub clapping cheeks, and you're just like, good for him. Good for him. You're not all just like fucking cucked out. You're just like, you get to, you know, finally, you've been longing for them cheeks for so long, man. I just want to see you have this dub. And then Scott has always had Emma on the side anyway, so I don't feel bad for Scott. Scott already has a bad side joint. So Krakoa was great. Everybody was winning.
We'll see what happens, man.
Season 5 of Xmen97. Give us Krakoa.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Not that. No, they're not doing that.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, they'll brush over that.
All right. Is that everything for today's episode?
I think that's everything.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, OK the Guy, the DD, the Mogul. I've been here with C Jizzle, a.k.a. Puffco Poppy. Subscribe everywhere. Tell someone you love them, gang.